What up, YouTube? Focused Hands here, and we're back with another episode. And this one in particular is the part 2 of a long-awaited shifter handle that I needed to complete the 50% reduction in the shifting here of this car. So if you stock, the shifts are way too long. And some people actually like the throws really long, but it's not for me. Like, I like the short shift throws, mainly the ones I had in the ST. I mean, it's really short. And I suggest this as a first mod if anybody is going to get a manual. I mean, the stock shifter is just the throws are too long, in my opinion. You may think different, but if you ask me, and if you care about my opinion, I would say this would be the very first mod that you should do for the car. So today we are going to kind of break this down and get it out and get the new one in and go out and test it and see what all the fuss is about, and see how much more different it feels versus having the bracket and having both. So 50% reduction, I already know it's going to be great, but it may actually be too short. There's a chance that it's too short and needs to be adjusted. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Stay focused. So what I have here, gotta get the shift knob off. Then we gotta lift up this bracket. Gotta pop this out to get the boot off, and you'll use this upholstery tool to pop that up and off. All right, so the next thing we gotta do is get out this screw. I'm assuming it's a T25. Let's verify that. It is indeed a T25 Torx bit. There we go, T25 Torx bit. And there's two more screws under this little panel here that you gotta use the upholstery tool to get into. See if I can do this with one hand. This is going to be important because this whole job coming up, I got my hand on the camera. This whole job coming up is going to be something we're going to be looking at here real soon to do for this whole kit or facelift for the car for Sync 3. So keep this in mind for what we're doing here. But let me pop this off. I may not even need to do that, but let me get all this off here and get this shifter boot out so that we can continue. Stay focused. All right, so with this piece, I mean, my goodness, this piece right here, you gotta pull with some force to get this piece out, and using the upholstery tool, you're not gonna break it. Like, this piece, it's in there tight, so you really gotta yank this bad boy to get it out. So next, just pop this piece up. We're gonna remove this whole thing, but be mindful that it does have wires behind it. So we need to maneuver it enough. We'll get up under here and pop this out, just like so, and get it up and out of its housing. Sorry, this camera work is starting off bad. There we go, I got it out of its housing. All right. That piece. All right, so now I'm going to show you the inside. So, I mean, like I said, keep in mind that this is this is something that we're going to be visiting here real soon on another episode of Focused Hands. So remember all this stuff, and it's really dirty in here. Whoever hacked this car, really dirty. Now, here's where we need to be, and we don't need to take all this stuff off. We pretty much can work. Once we get this off, we can work in this area and get the stuff we need to get out. So let me set the camera down here and do a little bit of removing cables, and I'll pick you back up soon. Stay focused. Right, so we are at the shifter housing or lever housing that we need to be at. Let's go ahead and put this back in neutral. There we go. So it's in neutral. What we're going to do now is pop off both of the shifter cables, and you just get your upholstery tool in there and just pop it off. Goes one, and be careful with it, but this shit just pop off. You can move them out of the way. It'll flop around. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to unbolt the whole housing and take this whole thing out. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts holding it in, and we need to go back here and undo each of the shifter cables to get it out. I think you pull on it and then pull it up to get it out. So stay focused. So you'll need to get those 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4 out. You'll need a 8mm socket. Let's reach down in here and get them off. I'll need 2 hands for this. Stay focused. Alright, so with all the bolts now out of the housing, we can lift up on this bad boy. And before I even do that, I already lifted it up, but you can see here both of the cables I've slid over to the left as far as I was rudely interrupted. I slid both of the cables here out of the way far enough to the left so that I could pull this whole unit out. So what this means for anybody watching is that you do not need to take off this part or the whole console. That's just extra work that doesn't need to be done. I found it, and this is my first time doing this, I found it easy enough just to remove the portion of the I guess the center console, if you will, or the HVAC system. There we go, the HVAC system, and that gave you enough access to get to everything and shift it along. So keep that in mind when you're working on this. You don't have to remove everything. Stay focused. So I finally got to use my tripod. Easter egg, Easter egg, Easter egg. No, these are all part of videos you should have already have seen, except for that one, yeah, but this one, no, you haven't seen that yet. Well, that's coming. Here we have, let's move the shifter out of the way a little bit. Grease on me. Here we have the shifter from Steeda, and again, shout out to Steeda for sending this over for us to review. It was almost a fail. And let's get the. All right. Ooh, look at this bad boy here. Very nice, very light. I mean, it's very, very light. I bet you a lot lighter than this, but we'll see. And definitely it's gonna be sitting lower for sure. All right, we got the bracket we need, and we also have the bolts we need. So let's go ahead and make sure that we are installing everything we need correctly and get back to it. Stay focused. All right, so I'm going to go for the maximum reduction in throw. So I'm going to be going into the lowest one here. If you want mid, it'll be this one. If you want a lesser amount than that one, you go to the top one. But for me, I'm going to go for this one here. Now I'm going to thread this in to initially get it started, but then I'm going to go back on it and use some thread locker to lock it in place tight. So, all right, let's get the thread started. And I'm gonna go grab this Loctite. Stay focused. Let's get a little dab of orange here. That should be good enough. It goes down in this orientation, or the horse facing down, or the horse eating grass, if you will. Thread this in, then we will tighten it down. Tighten it, you need a size 13. Stick your size 13 in here. There we go. You just tighten it up. You don't have to go over. And that's good enough. That's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Alright, so shipping assembly here needs to be cut out. And just get on that little edge here and find a piece to cut it off. Like I said, pre-assembled, this piece here blocks the ability for this piece that holds the shifter in to come out. So you got to cut back on this enough so it can slide out, and you're good to go. They do this from Ford to keep the shifter from moving around when the car's being shipped. That's so I'm told. So let's get the Phillips and get those off. Stay focused. So these are the clips that most people end up breaking. There's clip 1, and up here is clip 2. And with this, in this way that I've done it, I mean, it makes it easy enough to come over here and pop off that clip, so you don't have to break these on your car. Well, let me say that too quickly. I might end up breaking this trying to get it off. There we go. All right, so now we should be able to lift up on this, get it out of the way. All right, so I honestly just lifted the spring up and I was able to pull this thing out. Nothing too rigorous there. Let me grab some gloves. All right, so white cap removed. This rubber piece here removed. We'll need that. You flip it around to where this opening hole is there. Alright, so got my pieces already ready. Need to orient this right. I think this is gonna go like that. We put this boot on. Okay, and then this piece would go on the corner. If I could get it to slide on. So that's in place. Weird thing is that whoever had this car before had already cut this piece out right here. So I don't know why they put the OEM shifter back in. I guess when they sold the car, they were like, yeah, I'm gonna put the OEM shifter back in. But yeah, anyway, I got it all reassembled. I got it in the maximum reduction setting. So the top here and the bottom here. and I'm getting ready to go and drop this back in the car. So stay focused. Okay, so my phone is about to die, and I kind of want to give you a little bit of an update before my phone dies and I have to go charge it, because there'll be a lapse in continuity here, or a break in continuity. So I'm putting in the bolts to lock the shifter housing to the frame, and then I'll start putting in the shifter cables into their correct spots. And then, I'll put all of the trim pieces and stuff back together, and we'll go out and drive this thing and see what we got here. And I'm gonna turn this. Actually, I can't. Like, this is the level it's gonna be in, and we're good there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just get all this stuff back on, and I'll try to get a small snippet of me shifting the gears and whatever, but we'll make it work. Stay focused. All right, so I have heard of portable chargers. So I couldn't wait. So I got the shifter cables back in. You just push those in easy enough. Look at this. Okay, it's in neutral right now, but oh my goodness, like look, let me stop trying to explain this and show you. Look at that. Look how look, second. That's third. That's fourth. All right, we went back to third. That's fifth. Right? Reverse. I mean, my Lanta. This is a short. This is what I wanted. And the enthusiasm. Let me get everything back on. Let's get out and take this joker for a drive. Stay focused. Okay, so I just finished installing everything back to what looks like factory spec. Look at the shifts. I mean, my goodness. So I'm getting ready to go out and drive the car. Before I do all that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up all this mess. Oh, wait, it's already clean. Okay, so let's just go out and drive it. Stay focused. And what it's time for that GoPro. So let's go ahead and throw it in reverse. Oh, so short. Let's go ahead and back it up. Let's throw it in first. I don't know if I'm going to be able to shoot and shift at the same time. Well, we're going to try. Yeah, this thing is ultra fun. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I want to be safe, so I'll see you at the house. All right, so we're back at the house in the safety of the garage, and I kind of want to give you just a little bit of a viewpoint of what it looks like. Yes, this is a Dragon Ball carrying over, but just getting back on task, we're going to look at how short the shifts are now that we added this Steeda shifter handle to our overall shifting experience, or shift reduction experience. Let me back it up here. So obviously I'm in neutral, right? So I'm going to now shift it into first gear, left, up. That's first gear. Second gear, up, up. Third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, reverse. So what do I think about the whole experience? Well, I think that I hold on to what I said at the beginning of the video. I think that this should be the first mod that one does if they're going to get a manual gearbox. Even if you have an RS or an ST, I think the shifter and the brackets and stuff inside of the engine bay, I think that these are the first mods that should be made, especially if you're used to short throw shifting like I am. I'm really used to short throw shifting in the ST outside, which we'll get into here and in the near future is short throw shift. So I got into this car when I got it, when I bought it, it had the stock shifting in it, and it was very long, and I noticed it right away. Even had a little difficulty shifting a little bit. I had to learn how to shift in this car because of how long those throws were. But I like it. I love it, actually. And again, shout out to Steeda for sending this over. And I'll leave their link to this exact handle in the description. and I'll leave a link for the engine side shifter. That one, the engine side shifter bracket does the 35%, and I believe this one does the 15%. It's giving you a total of 50. So with that said, yeah, this is a go. This is a buy. Total cost, you can see it down in the description for how much both of these things cost. If you're going to buy them from Steeda, I suggest you go out and do it. Up next, we're going to be looking at with that said, I'm going to end the video right here. So, focused hands, signing off. Peace.